Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining me. It's a beautiful Monday morning. I don't know if your team won or not yesterday, but regardless, it's a great day to start a week. Weather is so beautiful here in Gilbert, and I've got some awesome guests on this morning. As you know, I've mentioned 100 times, I'm from Snowflake, Arizona, and I've got a couple of my cousins there that live there currently. And they're on the line. Their names are Jackie and Maegan. Are you guys there?
Yep, we're here.
In our cool
Car. Yeah, you can talk about your beautiful weather, whatever. Looking at our frosty field.
All right, so it's cold there. Is it super cold this morning?
Yeah, we're cold. 19 degrees.
All right, so 19 degrees. So when I left at 6 o'clock this morning, it was like 43, and it was seriously beautiful. And I don't want to brag anymore about it, but I honestly had some friends that I was running with this morning that were in shorts and short sleeves at 43 degrees. I'm not that crazy. I had a sweater on and a hoodie and
a little cold.
But that's cool. So these cousins of mine, I don't know if you guys are, fans of the Kelsey Brothers podcast, but these two sisters and their podcast make the Kelsey Brothers seem extremely boring.
Totally.
So they are great. So Jackie and Maegan, they have a podcast called Pop Run Radio, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So my wife and I are fans. We find ourselves turning to their podcasts on road trips, and the cool thing about their podcast is you have a smile the whole time, and you're laughing. And I think I've also probably even cried before.
Oh yeah, we've cried too. It's a very weird podcast. We go all over the place.
Yes, and that's why it's so fun. So tell me a little bit about Pop Run. It's Pop Run Radio, right?
Yeah.
Make sure I'm saying it right. So tell me a little bit about it. Why did you guys start doing this? What was the background story behind that?
To be honest, we think we're hilarious, but we just assumed we each thought each other was hilarious, and that's enough for us to laugh at each other. But then Megan's husband, David, he got it in our head because he's like, you have to do it because he thinks we're funny. He might be the only other one.
I think we need to backtrack. Back when Jackie's son passed away, we started doing a pop run at 9 a.m. every morning, and that's kind of where we would hash out things. So we thought, hey, we'll hash them out on the air.
We'll hash them out with people and learn about their stories. So, yeah, just kind of a tradition for us to go on a pop run every day.
Oh.
That's how Maegan, when I lost my son, she made me do it because she knew I wouldn't get out of bed unless we had a plan. So every morning at 9 o'clock, she'd drag me out of bed and take me out to go get a pop. So
were there some of those mornings like that she was still in bed, Maegan, when you picked her up?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, I crawled on the other side of her and John on the other side.
Yeah, she'd crawl in and cry with me for a bit, but then she'd make me get up, and then it just got to be where I knew I had to get up and go out there.
Yeah.
Now it's our sacred time. Like if our hair or any appointment gets into the way, we're highly offended with each other.
You cannot schedule anything during 9 o'clock pop run.
Oh man, what an amazing story of just like getting up and making it happen regardless of your current situation in life. I mean, and just going out and doing super hard things. And that's part of life is just, I say it quite often, is just wake up and show up, and that's seriously more than half the battle is just waking up and showing up, right?
Yeah, big time.
That's good. So, you guys, do you have the podcast every Monday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and tell me a little bit more about the is it a certain time that you guys film it every Monday?
No, actually, we're supposed to film like earlier in the previous week, so David has time to edit, but we usually end up rolling in there Friday or Saturday, or sometimes Sunday during Sunday school.
Okay, there we go.
We get it done for him to have a couple hours to edit before Monday, but we try to stockpile when we can, or just do it when the inspiration strikes. Like sometimes we'll come up with a good guess and be like, let's just go do it right now while we're thinking of it so that we have it. So we have sometimes a few stacked up, but most of the time flying in.
That's good. That's really cool. So I've always listened to them. So you guys also do film, right?
No. We've considered it, but it's kind of intimidating. I won't lie. I guess you're doing this on YouTube as well, so let us know. Is that good?
Yeah, it's easier just to talk, but I don't know about film if it would be a little too intimidating. I don't know.
And we might have to get cute.
Yeah.
We
No,
have to
that's
roll
true.
in if we're not cute.
Oh man, no. I mean, honestly, just be who you are. You don't have to get cute and just be. That's kind of the miracle of I don't know. I think you don't have to be intimidated for sure. The thing with filming is, for the things that I do film, and I don't have that much of a following or a cult or whatever. I'm just getting going myself. But the ones that are filmed as opposed to recorded for me get more views and more attention. But if you just act like you're not in front of the camera and just play it the same way you're doing, like when you're recording is the same thing. So it's really no different.
I think we can do it now that we've gotten the hang of it. Even our editing is getting a lot easier because we know not to bang the table or cut each other off. So I think now we could probably do okay with videoing now that we know what we're doing a little bit.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, that's cool. So, a lot of the people listening today most likely live like here in the city and like busy areas. I mean, tell me what it's like. I was raised in Snowflake. And, I have the book, The Pig Farm Boy, and that talks a little bit about my pig farm experiences with my dad growing up. And, I personally could argue with anyone and beat the argument that I had the best childhood as far as like being raised in the country in Snowflake. And I just absolutely loved it. And I've raised my kids differently just because that's how life is, and that's just fine. But I just kind of feel like kids are like in a chicken coop in the city compared to how you're raising your kids. Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, raising your kids in the country.
Well, obviously we love it because we're here, even though it's not always the best for, professionally. It's kind of a trade-off because you choose to do it, but for us it works. I think the more I've learned, especially since my son passed away, that you have the opportunity to bloom wherever you're planted. And so if I was in the city, I wouldn't be scared. I would just try to come up with different ways that, I think your kids are great, Spencer. I think you've done a great job. They stay busy. I think that's important. I think they need to be busy and be experiencing as much of life as they possibly can. And for me, it's just different ways that we've done it in the country. Like our kids, my boys work for my dad at his greenhouse every season, and Megan's boys are big on like snowboarding and skateboarding, and then my boys are really big in sports, and it's nice being here because you can, in the city you can only do one sport. In Snowflake you can do all the sports, all the seasons, so it's just different. But I think no matter where you're at, if you can find yourself a community and find yourself a thing that works for you and try your hardest to get your kids out and about and not just, hold up at home and playing video games, then you're probably, and then, my kids do play video games. I'm not going to say that, but there's a balance there, which I think is important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I mean, that's a good point for us all to think about. It's just currently making the best situation in the best of, our lives and just the best of it in our current situation of where we're at. So that's great. Thanks for sharing that. Anything like as far as like that's exciting in that area of, I miss Snowflake. I don't get there enough. Since Grandma and Grandpa died, I don't get there very much. Anything exciting going on in Snowflake?
It's the state playoff for Jackie's son, which I'm a fan and follow him around because my boys are up on the slope, so I have to follow Jackie's kids around.
Yeah, my son Asher is starting playoffs for 3A basketball, so that's a big deal. And my son Liam just finished his season because he's on JV and freshman, but that's a big deal for us. We love sports in the Brewer house, so that's exciting for us. And then also just, to be honest, like all the stuff, we're so grateful for all the growth that Snowflake's had, and there's half of the mindset of we want to stay small, and there's half of the mindset that me and Megan have where we're ready. If we are going to grow, we need to grow in a healthy, good, positive way. And so we have a lot of people that are young like us that are looking to, we've had younger generations who brought our pool back, or we've had younger generations who bring dance classes and so much stuff that wasn't available when I was growing up. But now it's like anything you could think of that you'd want is coming, which is exciting. We're still small. We're still tiny. But
COVID brought a lot of people who could work online, so we've grown quite a bit for services, which has been great.
Oh, that is really cool. So, okay, talk to me about the basketball championship and stuff like. Are you guys going to come to the city by chance at all in playoff?
Win.
Yeah, probably. Our first round is at home because we're ranked higher, but then I'm pretty sure what it's looking like is we probably will play either Gilbert Christian or another Valley team. I can't remember what. So more than likely we will end up in the Valley at some point. And even though we plan to go all the way to the end, it's really hard with 3A East because we're all rural, we're all small, but we're all really good. But then you get into the Valley schools that are 3A, and it's hard because they're private schools who gather whatever they want. And so the number one team, Valley Christian, literally has kids that are already committed to D1 schools. And so you get us, and we just work our little hearts out. But it can be tough because it's really not fair. We're not recruiting from our little 10,000 people.
Yeah.
But we work as hard as we can, and we get as far as we can, and you never know. Basketball's always about the Cinderella stories, so you never know. It could be awesome.
Okay, awesome. So if you guys do come to the city, please let me know. And I would love to be there and come watch that game with you guys. I would love that.
Of course.
So all of my kids are in different sports. My oldest was a football player, and then my girl, of course, dances, and then Weston's off skateboarding, and then my youngest is a basketball player. So I don't have any kids that are in any similar sports. They're all over the spectrum, and so it's been quite the experience. So. As far as just bringing it back to Pop Run Radio, if you guys aren't followers of Pop Run Radio, make sure that you guys go and give them a follow and a listen. Like I said, it's a great podcast. What has been your most memorable episode or experience on that thus far, if you can rack your brain that much?
Ooh. The one that shocked me the most was Uncle Tom, I'm not going to lie. We thought it was going to be really silly, and everyone ended up crying. So that was...
Tom brought a spiritual side that day instead of a funny side. Where'd that come from? We weren't ready.
Oh, that's
I don't
funny.
know. It's been fun just hearing how many people have different stories. I mean, we could take someone new every week and just hear.
That's what we love. Every single person in the whole world, no matter what your status is, has the most amazing stories, and that's what we love, is just learning about everyone. Probably my most memorable one was probably when I shared my Abe story, because I don't think I've ever shared that in complete detail like that.
That was good.
But it was emotional. But yeah, just everyone that comes out, I love it because you never know what you're going to hear from them, because everyone has fascinating stories. Every single person that's come on has a different story, and it's so interesting.
We all need to write a memoir.
Everyone needs a memoir. Yeah.
I agree. It's funny how life is, because we're just so funny. We make these quick little judgments against people, like, oh, I don't like that person, or that person did something stupid. But I always go back to the I always go back to this, is when Obama was running for president, my dad gave Grandpa Caldwell the book, and he was so mad he basically threw it back to Dad. And my dad said, Grandpa, if you could sit down and have lunch with this guy, I guarantee you would actually really like him. So I always go back to that, is like, if I make quick little judgments or don't like something that someone did, when it comes down to it, if you were to have lunch with them or have a Pop Run Radio interview or session with them, you're going to really end up really liking that person, even if you had a little grudge or you think they're a little silly. That's what's funny about life, is if you spend time with them, you're going to like them, right?
Totally agree.
Give them a chance, and you're going to end up liking them for sure.
Everyone does have a story, and that's what's amazing about life. So they mentioned Uncle Tom. So Uncle Tom is the youngest of 9 kids, and Maegan, Jackie, and I come from the oldest of the 9 kids, and they come from shortly than the
oldest girl.
The oldest girl, yeah.
Yeah.
Third kid.
So how many cousins total are there? I'm putting you on the spot because I don't know.
I have no idea. I mean, I love my cousins. My cousins are my best friends. I really do love all my cousins. I couldn't count though, but I couldn't count. I'd have to sit down and think about it really hard.
I mean, just if there's 9 kids and then average of 4 or 5, there's got to be 45, 50 plus, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, which is really cool too.
Now,
What's that?
some of them will be having their own soon, I'm sure.
Yep.
Oh man, it's so crazy. So to grow up with that many cousins, like in a small town, and you're all together, and you're all gathering together at Grandma Gerda's house on Sunday night to play kick the can. It doesn't get better than that, growing up with cousins. And that's how actually my kids have actually grown up. is with just a bunch of cousins and having those memories, and that's what's exciting about living in small quarters. So
I love it. Cousins are all my best friends for sure.
Yeah, and I still really love my cousins, and I love that my kids have cousins around. It's something I loved growing up with. I had like an idea. I'm with you. I had the most ideal childhood, and so I hope I can mimic that.
A quick example is my niece Lila lives in the Valley, and she asked for her birthday. All I want to do is go to Snowflake and play with my cousins. So she's not wrong. It's the best way to live.
That's the best. Well, that's cool. Well, I've taken enough of your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for doing Pop Run Radio. I think that you guys have done a great job with that, and I think that everyone should do some type of form of what you guys have created in their life and just sharing their experience and their story, which is great. So I appreciate that about you guys, and thank you for just your joyous spirits and just being who you are. I really appreciate and love you guys. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me this morning.
Yeah, we're happy to. We love you too,
sir.
Okay, cool. Hey, thank you. Have a good day. And hey, everyone, thank you for listening. You guys go out and make something happen. Have a great day. I appreciate you all. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.